So it's a lot of stuff going on in the news, things being streamed 24/7 to sway you to one side or the left, to gear you to believe on one side or the other. And a lot of things, you have to put into perspective. When we were children, if we didn't have certain toys, certain items, we pretended, we played make believe that we were doctors and cops, robbers, different characters. And even as grown-ups, things come to persuade our thoughts, our perception, especially through mediums, social media, news, so on and so forth. A lot of things get presented in the news as if they're complete fact or complete truth, and there is a difference between the two. The facts can be used to mislead, to misinform, to incite panic, fear, a number of other imbalanced and disproportionate perspectives and thoughts, and just try to multiply it and exaggerate it. So things get presented in a convincing way because someone or a group of people want you to believe one way or the other. They want to take your thought, your train of thought down a particular line. And now is a time where you have to guard your thoughts. Make sure you, as much as possible, don't just react based on how you think somebody wants you to, or just based solely off emotions, jump into a conclusion, making a judgment about any situation, anything that you may hear in the news today or in the future. Try to remain neutral, use logic, use critical thinking, separate truth from fact, because like I said, facts can be misused and misleading. Even statistics can be conjured up, and it can seem like it's coming from a reliable source when in fact the source is actually being backed secretly or behind closed doors by some form of opposition as far as opposing the general public's health, mental state, all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. A lot of stuff going on with the economy, stock markets, food, different industries, celebrities. One of the biggest things lately is with Kanye and his in-laws and their whole family situation. A lot of things have been coming forth publicly, specifically from him, alleged tweets and so on and so forth. One of the main ones that stood out to me is in regards to Kanye allegedly stating that he's been trying to get out of the marriage to Kim for a couple of years now. And people want to jump to conclusions, be quick to judge, but the only way you really could point fingers about his relationship is if you've never ever been in a relationship whatsoever. That's the only way you can say you've never been through anything. It may not have been to this extent and under the scrutiny of the world's eye, which is a whole nother level of pressure that many of us can't even comprehend. But many people have been waiting on an eruption, a downfall, things to just fall apart between Kim and Kanye. And I'm not here to promote one way or the other. What I'm looking at in regards to the whole situation is that there's many of us that have been in or are currently in a situation that is similar. It could be with a family member, somebody you're dating or married to, or even in a work relationship where you have been wanting out, or you're on the other side, you're the one that's possibly causing the other person to want to get out of it. So wherever you find your place on whatever side of the table, just bear in mind, I'm sure many people heard coming up from grandmother, grandfather, or parents that you shouldn't, not only should you not try to change somebody that you're with or think just because you get with them you're going to be able to change them, but also to bear in mind, like the saying goes about a lot of devices, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If certain people were in a certain place when you got with them, the odds of you being able to fix or repair them is very slim to none. And a lot of people take this challenge on and think the longer they stay in it or if they get children involved, it's going to improve situations or relations between them. Things usually tend to get worse over time, even though publicly they may put on a facade or masquerade as though all is well until somebody completely snaps or unravels or just really starts exposing their level of discouragement and unhappiness. And it's a lot of people that are currently experiencing what is under being put on display for the world between Kim and Kanye. Just remember, when you do meet someone else, hopefully they'll be at a level where it's not a codependency or you're trying to raise females out here that complain about they're with a mama's boy or vice versa, a daddy's girl. One or the other is just used to being spoiled, getting their way, and when they get with somebody, they think they can change them. Now you see the sadness and the despair and the hopelessness in their eyes. They want to get out of their marriage. They want to get out of the situation, but they feel like they're stuck because of the financial things that they've accumulated together since they've been together, the children that may or may not be involved, just so many factors. And some people even just have a fear of moving on because they've become so accustomed to that person being there, being a crutch to some extent or some level, that now the thought of them not being around petrifies, it scares them, it paralyzes them. So again, look in the mirror. You can look at these celebrities and see what's going on, but also look and see where you are, examine, investigate, and remember you've come to that realization already and you stop trying and you're working on you, loving you, making yourself whole, or you're still trying to carry someone else's baggage, repair their damage, in which you may help here and there, but unless that person wants to do it for themselves, you'll just constantly be draining yourself, and either the relationship will end up dying from exhaustion, somebody's gonna walk away from it, or they'll use you up like a leech or a parasite and suck you dry until they have no more use for you, or there's somebody that has greater resources and time to tend to their high maintenance and needy issues, and you'll be left high and dry if that hasn't already happened to you. So hopefully, instead of directing that attention and time and energy into someone else that it may just be wasted on, you choose to invest that time and energy in yourself and love and heal what you need first and foremost, and the rest will follow.